We got the legendary Erick Sermon in the building, man. And I'm telling you, this is a very good interview for me because you are a legend, man. A legendary producer and a legendary artist.
Mm.
And I want to give you your flowers now because sometimes you got to give our artists. Hip hop is at the standpoint where our hip hop right now, you guys are legacy now, right?
Right.
We got to
Hmm.
see hip hop at 50,
Right.
at a time when it didn't say, "Oh, this music wouldn't last." How did that feel now when other producers are looking upon you like, "Yo, that is one of like the forefathers of making this style of music, or bringing bit bap, boom bap to the stage, or making this type of sample." How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I remember when I think I heard Don Cornelius talking to Russell Simmons. I think when I was young, I think he on and Don Cornelius told Russell that it wouldn't last, you know, and Russell believed that it would. So for it to be 50 years, 51 years old, and to be a part of it as a kid, well, my mom's had brought home two records. She brought home Apache and brought home Rappers Delight. And I played Rappers Delight forever, but Rappers Delight was already ringing out in the hood, so it was already familiar. But we was already rapping as a kid though too. So to see it now and me be a part of it is fantastic.
I mean, it's just a wonderful thing. But let's get some deep questions. 'Cause I know you've been on your run, your podcast run, and I've seen you in a lot of places. What part of the culture are we failing to protect when we're talking about hip hop culture?
I think we failing to protect the conversation, meaning that Crystal, back then, a lot of song had messages, even though they was hip hop or you call gangster or party or either whatever they was. It had conversation. It had substance, and I think that hip hop was the only voice that we had at one time to know what's going on. And so right now the internet is doing that for us, but the music isn't. The music is no. There's nothing in the music nowadays that are giving us the conversation that we need.
And who do we blame that on somebody? Is it because the higher that be move that away from the music because it came so much commercialized?
Yeah, I mean, you answered the question. I think that everybody answered the same question there too. They know that it was, you hate to go there and go this route, but it was systematically done the way it's supposed to go. You know, I think I heard Tank on one of the podcasts saying they took black love out of the music because black love was so strong. Go back to the early R&B records. It was all about love and the family and being together. They took that out because that's too strong to have the household, a black household, to be strong like that and to be together. So that must go. Um, the Public Enemies, Chaos Ones, Poor Righteous Teachers, NWA, all that shit had to go to a point because it was too much knowledge being put into music that was waking black people up or either giving them education. So that had to go. That's just my opinion, but it's also been the opinion for mad people that it's systematically been like this for it to go this way. So we in this part where it's strictly ignorance, so we don't grow.
And that's exactly what that's my same sentiments. And I think we dropped the ball at some point in not owning our own property of hip hop.
No, we did drop the ball. I think that I forgot. I keep saying because I listen to a lot of people. Somebody has said that if some of us would have spoke up, it wouldn't have got this bad. But we didn't say nothing. So every year it got where it got to be where it is now. You know?
It did, but we didn't know though. Like if you think of the time, we didn't know it
Oh
was
hell
brand
no.
new.
Hell no.
We didn't know it was brand new. Everybody was just trying to get in to show our art form in this field and not knowing, not thinking. I mean, we had a couple labels and a couple people who was at certain positions, and I think I will hold them accountable of not uh, uh, upholding the culture when he had the power. But we can't put it all on the artist because at the time you seen the shift in the 2000s. You seen the shift of the music. In the 2010s, you see the shift on the music. But it was a time where you had the Erick Sermon, you had the EPMD, you had a Tribe Called Quest, you also had the NWA, you had the Capital's Most Wanted. Like you had a variety of music that were played on the radio. And there was a variety of concerts where they had everybody on the list, and then to start focusing on one side of the culture, one side of the rap industry.
Well, like you said though, I'm not gonna blame it on the artists, but all I know is the fact that once they started signing the more ignorant stuff, that's what they wanted to sign. So the more stuff that doesn't help or makes or puts us in jail or having us buying clothes we can't afford, here's what we want these people to be, meaning us black people and brown, because whatever we hear, we gonna do. It's the opposite with them. Their kids go to school. Their kids ain't from the hood. Their kids don't speak the language. Their kids don't experience what we experience. So to them, this music is entertainment. To us, we live it. That's where we mess up at. It's entertainment for them because that's not their life. But when somebody tells us to do certain things or to buy certain things or to act to certain things or to do drugs the whole now, we do it. That's the crazy part. But they knew that.
That's real. That's real. So, but let's talk about today's trend, right? What current trend in hip hop that you secretly respect? Like you're like, oh, okay, I can respect that.
The trend in hip hop.
Yeah, anything that's like our current
Oh.
state of hip hop, like you secretly like, okay, I respect that. I see what they're doing with it. I see they're trying to push it further. Oh, I got them stumped on that one. They might not be
Yeah,
one.
yeah. You know what? But I kind of respect the podcast wave. You know why? Because even in sports, when they done with sports, they go to commentating, right? So everybody can't go on the radio. Um, so this is for those who were in the business, it makes sense for them to go to radio. If not go to radio, go to podcast. So that part I kind of respect. I'm not saying for everybody, but I do respect that part, that when some of my colleagues go to podcasting.
Well, I like it. I think the best part of it is you guys get to tell your stories, right?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
so fascinated that growing up watching you guys. Now I'm in the industry on the media side and DJ side, and been doing it for so long. But be able to talk to you guys and see the podcast of you telling me what's going on, what's the reason behind this record, what happened with that story when we just heard the rumblings, right? I think that's the
Right.
best part about hip hop, that we're telling our
Yes.
own narrative.
Yes, yes. Because we don't. Oh, all of our documentaries and all our stories have been told by them, not by us, which is crazy.
Super crazy. You've shaped a lot of careers, right? A lot of people that you worked with in the industry, you helped. What's the difference between talent and longevity?
Well, I think somebody who is talented has has the ability to have longevity, right? Because you have people who, like, say for the rappers who came in, right? They quit school for this because they knew that it's a possibility. Back then, it's like basketball or sports arts. It's less than 1%. But now in hip hop, you don't even have to be like that to be a star. So that's kind of my answer for the question. Um, you know,
I got you. I got you. And what is your quietest win? A moment that didn't get headlines, but it just like meant everything for you, like that quiet win, like nobody knew about it. Like, yeah, I got this one.
Oh man, I I, I don't know. Yeah, you stumped me on that one. Yeah, you
You have
stumped
so
me on
many
that
of
one.
them, though. You have so many wins. Like, what's that one you were like? And it don't got to be, that it was known. Like that one where it don't have to be music. It could be something with the contract. It could be something that you got that you never thought you were going to get.
Yeah, I mean, the quiet win is, to me, is the longevity. I think maybe. I think that when I look at some of my colleagues, and I'm still doing this with music, Cristal, like that. Like everybody has movies, films, TV, something tangible like an alcohol or some type of drink or whatever they're doing. My win is doing this with what I came in the game with doing, And not saying I wouldn't want to have all that stuff, but I think my quiet win is to say, yo, I did this with music only.
Only that is crazy. I mean, just to think
Right.
about, but you think about when we talk about the R&B artists, the rock artists, the grunge bands who just keep doing it forever. They're just doing strictly music, and you're at that label level that I'm doing strictly music. And let's talk about that part of the legends. They are killing it right now. We're talking about Method Man, Redman. We're talking about you. We talk about Ti just dropped a great record.
Oh yeah,
Juliana just dropped
phenomenal.
a great record. Like the Clips just dropped a great album.
Yeah, clips, fantastic. Ghostface, Wait on. Right,
How does
yeah.
it make you feel?
Yeah.
Like, okay, these are the older artists, the legends, the legacy, doing it like this.
It's fantastic. See what, of course I can't pull this up because it was too far back, but I never stopped believing in us. That's why, my dynamic duo idea was, you talking about 2018, 2019, right? I was like, why isn't our people making any records? Who told them they couldn't make records? So to see it happening now, I foresaw this already. I knew that, you know, if I'm still able to do this, there's no way that the top MCs that was iller than me still can't write. So um to see it now, I'm not shocked because I knew it. And it took the clips to make people listen and see. Because I think that Common and Pete Rock did an excellent job. Nas, King Disease, whole thing did a great job, but there was no eyes on it. It came early, even though people respected it. But after clips came, everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
It gave eyes for Ghost, Ray, Slick, Big
Absolutely.
L, Light,
Yes.
everybody in the era that came. Now people looked at, and now you getting the juveniles and getting the TIs and getting the Trick Daddy. I saw something the other day that
Yeah.
was fantastic. Like I'm
Yes.
like, look at us, nigga. Like
Yeah.
but I saw this already.
But that make me feel good though, because being at my age at 48, I grew up seeing all the transition of hip hop, right? And to be able to see you guys, I'm like, yes, is here. That this is what hip hop sounds like when we mature. Like this would sound like when we older. This would sound like we are having fun again.
But they don't stop. And I can't listen. I'm not a racist. Trust me. I got mixed children. My thing is, when they do it, they can do it to 89 years. Share, Barbara Streisand, fucking Paul McCartney, um, the Rolling Stones, you too, all these people that make albums and come out Nobody says nothing. Nobody looks at them as old heads or say old school or nothing like that. It's just brand new, whoever's coming.
Absolutely.
But we put an age on us. And
Yes, I
that's
say that all the
where
time.
it get mixed up at. Like, but this is our people, just natural haters. We beat ourselves up. No matter what goes on, they be like, oh yo, you still rapping? Are you still at your job, dummy? Because if you
Right.
still at your job, why wouldn't I be at my job?
Exactly.
So again, the ignorance of them not listening before they say something or even thinking says, yo, are you still working? Are you still at your job for 35 years? Yeah, I'm doing mines.
Absolutely. And we're the only culture that does that, man. That bothers. Let's pivot. Okay, let's pivot to this. Let's talk about your beat making. Let's talk about why you're so dope as a producer, and you still rap. You're one of the dopest producers that raps, that write your own lyrics, that does it, that creates your own sound in your music. What's a beat that you made that you love, but the artist didn't understand, and why?
Oh man. I don't know if it's the beat. I think that people want to know that the most beautifulest by Keith Murray was almost not being made because
What?
yeah, because Murray didn't want to say the most beautifulest thing in this world is just like he did not want to say that. He was angry. That was our first argument that we ever had. Like not a big argument, but big enough. And the original version is on the album too, but the remix um was with the Isley brothers, you know. Um and again, he wasn't happy with the record, because he didn't want to do it.
The hook made the song. That's what
I
everybody
know, but
is
again,
trying to
he
do.
he just was adamant about it not going together and it not working. So that's
Wow.
one song that almost didn't happen.
Wow. It's always those type of stories where the artist didn't like it, but then that's the song that pops off. That's
Yes,
crazy. That is crazy.
that's
Have
crazy.
you
Yeah.
I don't know, I like to use the term underproduced. Let's say make a track so you're able to let the rapper breathe. Everybody did that before, like with a record. They got so much in there, like, well, let me take this out and let me give them time, that space to breathe in this space.
Well, all Keith Murray music was like that because he was so complex. So a lot of Murray's records was empty and was easy. As far as not too much stuff in it. Redman was different. I can do Time for Some Action because he let's get ready to run. So he was already
Right.
up there. Murray was, even though Reggie was so ill on the mic though too, he was a lot of projection. So it's a lot of songs that again, How High had that melodic
Mm,
feel to it.
mhm.
I would make sure, and I made sure that 4321 was open too, because it was
Mhm.
all those lyricists on there. So it had to be, it was a rhyming record. So it was like six sounds in that.
Yeah. That's crazy. You did How High. Even look at that. I love How High. I love that. I
I
love
did How
spinning
High
those.
1 and 2.
I love spinning those records. How did you get past the Marvin Gaye family for that sample? Everybody can't do that. I
I
mean,
ain't get past them. It was $200,000. Ain't nobody passing that up.
I may not pass it up, but it wasn't no beef with it. Everybody else, every time they sample Marvin Gaye, I tell you they are going to court.
Nobody paid.
That's crazy.
You got to pay first. You can't just put something out and then expect for it to be in your favor. It don't work that way. You have to go through sample clearances, and nobody wants to contact the estate, the whole nine, because you don't know how much is going to charge, or the whole nine, or people think they didn't take enough to get sued. Me, I had this. I had to clear it because I'm taking the vocals. It
Right,
ain't music.
right. And it's a great sample. I think you said a story on a podcast. I want to bring it back up that somebody sampled one of your music songs. and you end up getting the publishing for it. And every month now you like cash out on it. I think I can't remember
Oh, you mean yeah? I mean, was it last year? Metro Boomin and Weekend did a song called "Creeping,"
Okay.
and me owning 4% of the record. All that radio play. So people think it come from streams. Radio play is where your money comes from. You heard it
Hmm.
from Hitmaker. You heard it from Rodney Jerkins. So I want to get that clear that it's radio play, not streams. Streams don't bring in that money like that. Even though somebody of them streaming 1.9 billion streams, it has something to do with it. But again, it comes from radio play. Radio play is where all your money comes from if you own publishing. Period.
Hmm.
So yes, for that one moment, for that first 8 months, I was bringing in $250,000 every quarter
Wow. That's nice. That's crazy.
for owning publishing. And I was just making that point just to show people if you own your publishing, here's what can happen for you now or either down the line.
And now, like we talk about that all the time, owning your own publishing. And I think a lot of artists get caught up in so hype about getting a record deal and not thinking about the back end business of it. You
Why you think it was so crazy with Biggie and the Locks and all those people you hear Snoop and all them people that talk about their publishing? The publishing is like a 401k or your retirement fund or something like that, whatever. It's your livelihood. So when you don't have nothing else to in the music business, you have this to still pay you.
yeah, and a lot of artists don't own their own publishing,
They don't own it.
and I think that was for a reason too. It's for a
Well,
reason.
what happened was they start dingling big checks in the beginning, and publishing company was buying publishing. And what was the young artists who we don't know? We sold it.
Hmm.
They offer you 500, 7, a million. They offer you that money, and you're gonna sell because you want that cash.
And I tell you what, let's bring it back to current. There are several artists out there, some independent artists. One just signed a deal with Rock Nation that they were really selling direct to consumer. They took it off. I know J. Cole right now, his new album is going direct to consumer right now.
Yes,
A
that's the
lot
way
of
to do it.
out the trunk. He brought the old Honda out and was selling
Yeah,
out the trunk. We talk about Lil Russell, who sold 100,000 records independently on his own, like right off his website,
right.
recently. So I think that trend is coming back. I think a lot of artists are like, okay, now I'm going
No,
right
the
direct
trend
to
is coming
consumer.
back. It's coming back big time, and I applaud people too because it took me a minute too. Like we all got to wake up somehow, and right now people woke up, and
No
it's
doubt.
dope to see J. Cole. Let me tell you something, man. Cardi B is one of the biggest stars in the world. I said this on another podcast. Cardi B was on the train, outside on the streets, on the buses, at in stores, everything. This is Cardi B. So if she's doing it, what do you have to do?
Exactly. The rollout, the original rollout, right? The original rollout plan.
If she had to do it, what do you think you have to do when you're nowhere near her status?
Exactly. 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 Got to put in the work.
I put the work in.
Got to put at the end of the day, you got to put the work in. I think one of my friends, Littles, used to tell me, if you put in the work and you got the streets, you will always have money in your pocket.
And
You will
one thing that makes it dope with the ones like us who have names, we don't have to go through all of that beginning stuff.
no.
We have a name. All we got to do is drop good material, and our fans are coming.
Yeah.
Don't forget, man, our product is less is been sold less than a penny, right?
Yep.
It takes Spotify pays out $3,500 every million streams, right? Apple pays out 1,800. Tidal pays out 12,000. So it's 100. It's 100 platforms that streams, right? So at the end of the day, if I sell my record for $1 to 8,000 people, I made 8 grand.
like that.
That's more than Spotify. That's more than Apple. That's more than Amazon. These are so like, when does it add up or make sense to you to do this? You know, because don't forget, I gave you another number. If you have 8,000 fans and you selling merchandise too along with your packages, and say if it's $200, you got fans that'll pay you way more than that. But tell you if it's $200 and 8,000 people support you with $200, it's 1.6 million.
Mm.
I didn't say 500,000 fans, a million fans, 2 million fans. I said 8,000 giving you $200 is $1.6 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want them to wake up to understand. Like Jay-Z said, numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't. Numbers don't lie. We got the we got Erick Sermon in the building. Uh, the new record with Redman Method Man is hard.
Thank you.
It is hard. How did you go? What was that? What was that session? Were you guys in the same session? Were you guys
Nah,
in?
nah, nah. Nowadays, it's not really sessions no more. It's just like, you send beats and people send stuff back because people are busy and nobody's in the city no more. Nobody lives in the cities no more.
Well, no,
So they're
everybody
not in
live in
LA, they're not in New York. So again, you have to do the sending of beats, and they get to it.
no, do you ever think you'll get back? Do you want to think not get back? Let's run that back. Do you want to do a record like that, like a real throwback? Like, okay, let's get them all in the studio at the same time. Let's knock out 5 or 6 records.
Oh
Let's
yeah, I mean, if I wanted to make that happen, I could have did that.
okay.
You could. It's all on you what you want to do. Because but you have to do the flying though,
Yeah,
or flying somebody in. So, we got to a point where this is the norm, but I think that when I do the new Redman Method Man album, if possible, or the new EPMD or whatever, it'll be in front of each other.
I love it. Listen, I appreciate you coming in, man, taking your time out and talk to this guy from
Now,
Cleveland,
these are
Ohio.
great questions. I feel you asked some of the dopest questions tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna play your record right now. Brand new record right here. Erick Sermon, Redman Method Man, 95.9 FM. We in the building, man. I appreciate you so much.
No problem.